Welcome to Manchester Garage. This week we're going to be doing a mini revival on this old Volvo here, my parents' old Volvo 145 Deluxe. Let's see if we can get it started. First things first, all that crap has got to come off so we can actually get to it. Right, so I've got no airing up the tyres. Might make it a little bit easier to roll out, although the tyres, they've done pretty well. They're bulging a little bit, but I don't think any of them are actually flat, so yeah, we'll put a bit of air in them anyway. Should make it easier to push. Might help it against the binding brakes, because this thing hasn't driven for over 10 years. I'm not even sure it's... I think we rolled it out once to get something in the back. It's become a bit of a storage shed. Yeah, it's suffered many years of garage dust, and yeah, Dad started working on it once, got as far as like chipping away the filler that the body shop had put in before it was painted. That was well over 20 years ago it was painted. So yeah, it's going to need a bit of love eventually. There's a fair bit of rust on this front corner. It's going to need a new set of wings, but yeah, let's worry about getting this thing fired up. I'm quietly confident. It's just an old boat engine, Volvo V20 engine. It'll, yeah, those things will keep going forever. Right, chocks away. See if it'll push now. Probably bound on the brakes. Yeah, let's see if I can. Yeah, let's see if I can pull. Oh, yeah. Let's not pull on the front wing. That's that is not structural. Let's see if I can get on here. Oh yeah, trying. We'll have to. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, I can go back and forth like that. I don't know. What the hell is that noise? We're going to investigate the back. There's lots of crap buried down the back, so I think we're anchored on something. Give us a minute. It appears we were anchored on some old car ramp, so let's have another go. Oh yeah, might have to rock it back and forth, because I think we're on that flat tyre back there. I think we think the back left is a bit flat. Let's give her another. Go again. Yeah, that'll do for the moment. We should be able to get that back tyre. Let's see what we can do. Okay, yeah, so the one wheel we couldn't get to was flat as a pancake, so we'll get some air in that, and well, it'll certainly make it easier when we push it back in. But that's the first time this thing has seen daylight for a very, very long time. And in fact, it's even got a model train set on the top. God's sake. So first things first, let's see if it's got a clutch, just for a laugh. See if it's... Oh yeah, we've got a clutch still. Wow, I'm surprised that clutch hasn't corroded to the flywheel. Let's really push our luck and see if we've got a... Oh, we've got a brake. Wow. Not that we're going to need them at the moment, but it's nice to know we've got at least them. Yeah, this isn't quite such a good sign. So this is the bonnet release, and that isn't releasing. Oh, that is seized. Oh, this is a good start. So yeah, it appeared that the cable was indeed rusted. However, with this don't even know what, this jack handle thing. Just happen to have the right hook on the end of it. Just get in there, hook up on the cable, pull the cable sideways, and she popped. So let's get her open, and yeah, a little shower of rust, but there she is. Volvo B20. From what I remember, this thing clatters like mad because it has down the front of the engine behind this case, it's got the timing gears behind there. No cam belt. It's got the timing gears in there, and as they wear, you get a clatter out of it to the point where people think it's a diesel, which is interesting. Oh, radiator cap's off. You can see it here. It's looking, yeah, pretty rank in there. That needs a. In fact, you can't tell on the camera. It's looking a bit furry. So, yeah, we definitely need to give that a flush out before we fire it up. I mean, you can start them up dry, but I don't like to start engines dry. It doesn't take long for the ceramic sealing water pumps to overheat and kill them. It's you know, for the little bit of time chucking a hose pipe in your radiator on first start up, it's worth it. And with an old engine like this, you're going to need some water in it to flush out anyway. So yeah, we'll probably make a nice big rusty mark on my parents' nice drive. We'll try and catch as much of that as we can. So I had a poke around and I could see a water level in there, so if Noah can just top this up, I don't think it's going to take an awful lot.
Yeah, it's definitely coming up.
Yeah, I know, just see it. Brilliant, only took a couple of pints and we're full. Nice. Well, we'll fire it up, and well, if we get it fired up, we'll flush that through anyway. We won't be going very far without battery, but that's not a problem. I've got a spare in my car. We'll while I go and get one of them, I'll get Noah to drop the spark plugs out, see what they look like, and well, we'll dribble a bit of oil into the bores, just wet them up, and see if we can get this old girl to crank, and then go from there. What we're looking like then. Yeah, looking pretty black. Probably because it's probably fired up on the choke, moved back and forth out the garage a few times, and never actually got up to temperature and properly run and clean the plugs off. But we'll give them a little brush up, go through them. As I said, first things first, get a bit of oil down the bores and crank it over, just wet its whistle, and then yeah, and then go for the big switch on. Yeah, looking pretty sooty and rough, but you're not supposed to brush. Not supposed to brush spark plugs really, but hell, this thing's basically a boat engine. It'll be alright. Go good as new. Now, one thing to check if you don't know the engine. We know this engine, so we know it's got oil on it in it, but the oil won't be up to much. Oh, we're on the minimum. That'll do. To be fair, we only need a bit just to get it fired up, and then we'll be giving it a flush through with some. We use hydraulic oil, AF30 grade hydraulic oil, because it's got all the detergents in it to clean your engine out. And obviously it's designed for hydraulic systems, so all the little spool valves and whatnot need to be kept clean. So that's why these hydraulic oils are rich in detergents, and yeah, they're perfect for using as flushing oil, and it's relatively cheap. So when you buy a bottle of flushing oil, it's basically just 30 weight hydraulic oil. So we'll get the old oil can, just give it a little half squirt, just down each bore. So wet its whistle. It's fun to get into. And before we try cranking it, obviously we will just try turning it over with a spanner on the crank, and I'm confident it'll move. So, but we'll double check that anyway before we go hitting it with the starter motor. Right, so Noah's getting the socket down in on the nose of the crank. Let's see. Oh, easy. Effortless. Yeah, so we're getting to
try and get all the way through.
Yeah, we're getting to give it a full rotation of the engine, just check there's nothing untoward in there. But it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's going easy.
We're using metric size tools on Imperial engine, of course. But you know, needs what must. So we've hooked up the battery, no fires yet, so that's good. Yeah, time to attempt giving it a little crank with the plugs out, bit of oil down the bores, and just yeah, we know it's free because we've got the ratchet on the crank. So if the starter motor works, then that's the next stage. So let's hit it with the starter. There we go. Nice. Well, that's a good sign. So we know it's got oil. Yeah, we'll get the plugs back in. We're going to feed it some fuel from a jerry can, because there's absolutely no chance the fuel that's in it will be any good, and we'll just end up sucking crap up into the carb and whatnot. These old Stromberg carbs are pretty reliable units. It's got a diaphragm in there with this piston with a needle on the end of it. Yeah, it's doing its thing. So yeah, fingers crossed that might work nicely. But yeah, we'll get the plugs back in and give it a check over, give it some fuel, and then we'll go for the big switch on. So that's just topped up the carburetor with a bit of oil, as you do. Apparently it's got a damper in there, so hopefully that piston should now drop.
That's better.
A bit slower. Yeah, not often you have to top up your carburetor with oil. Right, so we've got a fuel supply. We've primed the filter and the float bowl. Actually, we've got that primed as well. So if it's gonna fire, it might actually fire up fairly quickly. Yeah, so right, Dad, if you want to get in and see what happens. Hopefully the battery's got enough juice in it. If not, we've got another one we can try in it. Whoa, there it is. Wow. It actually sounds quite quiet. Quieter than I remember. It's probably because the oil is cold and thick. It's probably yeah, it's probably dampening that noisy cam gear noise. But yeah, that was Stromberg sipping away quite happily there. Amazingly quiet. Let's go into the gas chamber back here. Gosh, it didn't even spit anything out on the ground, really. I thought there'd be a bit more debris coming out of that, but well, success.
And they have a tapering needle.
Okay, so yeah, Dad's going to try and see if it'll move under its own steam. Just notch it backwards a little bit, See if it'll move under its own steam for the first time in just a cool decade or so. Wow, look at that. That'll do. Perfect. Brilliant. Well, should drive it to Portugal now. Well, we've got headlights, no indicators, no instrument lights, no temp, no fuel level. So there's obviously something going on here, a bit of corrosion, something like that, but all in good time and all that. But, yeah.
I when we started it before, we never had it running this long.
Yeah, it's always been nice.
Yeah, no nasty leaks, just a bit of smoke and residual oil drips on the exhaust. No water leaks or anything. Oh, that's no water leaks, he says. Little puddle there. Let's have a look, see where that's coming from. That might just be oh, that's overflowing out of the cap. The seal's gone on the cap. It's got an expansion reservoir there with a pressure cap, but obviously the seal in this here cap has gone. So still, it's all right. We can sort that out. Well, just got the trusty pliers on it. Give it a little nip up, and yeah, that's all it needed. No more leaks. Even the alternator feels smooth. Yeah, that sat still for ages. Still nice and smooth. I mean, if we were going to go on a road trip, you'd probably want to check the brushes down there, and yeah, before you went too far. But, yeah, everything seems tickety-boo. You'd probably drive this if it wasn't for the makeshift fuel tank. I reckon this would drive straight down to Portugal. We found some tapes. What have we got, Dad? We got Slipknot, Iowa.
Yeah. Roxy Music Greatest Hits.
I think Iowa was 2001. Roxy Music was a lot older than 2001.
And
30 legendary.
The
Marquee.
30 legendary years.
Oh yeah, well read. What even? Oh, hang on, we got U2, Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah.
Some classics on there.
Custom mixtape on there.
Check that out. But, yeah, so we think we're missing a few fuses, because I nicked some fuses out of this a while back when I had my old Capri. A couple of the fuses went, so I have a feeling I might have robbed them out of this. So that's possibly why we're down on instrument lights. But yeah, we can sort these things out. Oh, if the lights even work, look. I mean, these lights haven't been on for, let's say, decades, literally. It's mad. Yeah, we've even got headlights, I think. We tried them a little while ago. But, yeah, we'll let her warm up, and yeah, maybe give her an oil flush, and probably leave the flushing oil in it for the moment until it's actually got it, and leave a note on the dashboard, of course, because we yeah, don't want to go driving around for too long with flushing oil. Probably wouldn't do it any harm, to be fair. An old beast like this. Probably run this on olive oil, which would be nice down in Portugal. Give it a quick rev. Look at that, all the linkage is free. Amazing. Yeah, apparently we got temperature gauge back, so at least we know when we're overheating now. So it was idling just a little bit rough. We're just having a quick look at the diaphragm in the Stromberg. We've got the top section off here. Just having a little look around there. It's just idling a little bit rough. It wasn't too bad. Would have got us to Portugal, but I think you replaced that.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Is that the one you replaced
Could be.
about 20 years ago or something? It was new 20 years ago. Looks pretty good now, actually. So it could be anything.
See, there's a little depression there, and there's a little tag there.
Oh yeah,
And that
got a
has
line
to
up.
locate in that. And when you put the diaphragm onto the piston, there's again another little locating lug. Yeah,
I think it just needs a good Italian tune-up. That's what it needs. Well, Felix is impressed with the work, aren't you, mate? Yeah, this was the first car I ever drove in a mate's field, and it's wicked. What I always used to think was really cool is this Smith's rev counter, which is just like the one from Mad Max 2, where Lord Humongous is driving his war chariot thing, and they turn the NOS on, and it goes straight off the gauge, like that, shortly before smashing into Max's rig. So we've got the cable lubricated. Let's get a bit on the old. Yeah, there we go, fixed. Yeah, it's just rusted up inside this, inside the cable outer here. So we should now have a working bonnet release. There we go. Got an opening point now. Yeah, fixed. Okay, I think we're going to leave it at that for this episode. We can do the fluids and the flush and whatnot next time, and have a look over stuff like the brakes and basically everything else that that it requires to move. We'll probably look at in a future episode. But I think that'll do for now. It's getting late and we've got a lot of crap to tidy up. So yeah, we'll see you next time.